melee champions alongside you. They're all getting that move speed. You're hitting people with Ricochet. And I think the other thing I will add to that is that Sivir plays mid waves way better than a champion like Jhin. I think you do have kind of that infinite wave clear. Regretting the buy now, you know, you go Swifties to obviously be able to shrug off some of the slows coming through from the Electro Harpoons and to really be able to punish, but they could easily dive this, I think. I think he has pretty much no chance to get out.
Early subjugate possible from Elioya. There he goes as they look for Driver under the tower. No escape. Alvaro tanks it perfectly, and MKOI on the board.
Nicely done by MKOI. They really punished Driver. Over-aggressive on the teleport TP angle, and we'll see if they even want to fight this, because they are a little bit late to show up, and it's going down pretty quick.
Yeah, first grab already gone here for Junja. Alvaro and Super trying to come across. Driver is there to defend, as are Kaiwing and Doggo. Elioya on the red buff right now. Super was looking for the steal with the Boomerang Blade, but can't find it. CFO seem to be happy with just getting the objective.
As you say, that objective feat is going to be taken, but not going to be able to get the Void Might spawn, which is always really nice to be able to add in.
The stack is always important. Even if you scale evenly with your opposition, you just don't want to give them opportunities to force you into a fight if you don't want to take it. And by getting the second Drake, you make sure that CFO can't force you into a soul point fight too early. Jojo coming across, the TPs come out from Hongq down towards that bottom side. Kaiwing with the Sun, True Shot Barrage going out as well as Junja looks to the sniper, can't get it. Hongq looking for the flank here as Jojo goes forward, flashes away from CFO. Junja in with the Crescent Guard, and they dive onto Elioya, but Elioya heals so much with the subjugate and survives by flashing out. MKOI on the retreat, but CFO won't find anything more. Alvaro looking for those gank paths, but great vision control from CFO. Elioya going down towards bot as Driver no longer has a flash of his own. Does have the Unstoppable Onslaught and can just walk away for now. Junja coming across. Unstoppable Onslaught goes in. Elioya's going to get knocked up with the Decimating Smash. Subject coming out as well as Elioya has no flash, but look at him bonking down Junja. Crescent Guard comes out. Junja in the middle of his own ornament will survive. Base seal from Jojo Pun. Junja flashes away. Jojo flashes back, but Driver gets the double.
Get that lethal tempo, I think, stacked up as it looked like he had, and was just whacking away, but couldn't actually quite get the kill. Jojo was going in for that initial trade with a Soul Unbound. That expires. Elioya is still kind of in there briefly by himself in the 1v2. You know, it's just in slow-mo.
Their reaction speeds are just out of this world. It's like the Flash trying to...
No, the reactions are actually really slow. It's just the game's even slower.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Explains why I've never got past Master.
Exactly. You're not playing on the pro mode.
Exactly.
It was slow-mo like that. That missing flash, and maybe a bit of an overcommitment there, you know, from Elioya. He kind of stand and fought, and Jojo obviously there to try to back him up. Is going to be able to just snap back. We'll see if he can actually chase after him, though.
Jojo's just dead! The Fate Seal, I believe, was still a second off cooldown. Didn't quite come up, and great play from Hongq. Solar Flare's going to land onto Alvaro, who pops the Unbreakable Will, flash away from the Zenith Blade, but still caught by it. Super's now running for the hills as Kaiwing continues to chase him. The Ignite down into the flash shield of Daybreak. Wind becomes lightning. Junja looking for it, but Elioya's killed off Kaiwing. Hongq coming in from the side as well as Elioya tries to get away. He's going to have to flash. Alvaro forced back to the base as well. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Driver is absolutely decimating Mirwin, even with the Equalizer down. The roar of the Slayer and the Soul Furnace. Driver brings down the axe and gets the solo bolo.
Nicely played by Driver, waiting out the scrap shield there, cancels his auto, so he's not spending that damage into the shield. As soon as it expires, goes forward, knocks him down. They even have the Herald in the mid lane. CFO is getting out of control now in this game one, playing with tempo so incredibly well. Look at top lane also. Hongq is already ahead. He's going to get a tier 2 solo gold off of this. No one is even moving to respond from MKOI. Instead, they're going to head towards the dragon here, but it's only the second dragon, and CFO is going to get monstrously up in gold.
They're dazed. MKOI are on the ropes right now. They're trying to find anything they can on the map, but CFO are just landing jab after jab. Driver's going to step in here, doesn't have the Unstoppable Onslaught. Jojo jumps onto Junja. The Dragon secured, base seal as well, even with the Crescent Guard down, Junja's going to die. Kaiwing looking for the flank position here as Hongq's going to TP in. Mirwin's coming in with his own teleport, but doesn't have the Equalizer. Doggo jumps across the wall and has to do Arcane Shift away. Hongq looking for that flank. Solar Player flashed away from... Hongq needs to be a little bit careful. Decimating Smash hitting the Zenith Blade just short. The Rhylights from Hongq is going to get the slows down, but MKOI will be able to retreat as by.
One's going to be able to answer him bot. It's more solo gold here given over to Hongq. He is getting ridiculously far ahead. The Soul Laners making all the difference so far in these early minutes of game one.
Let's try and take away this Artican.
Kaiwing.
Doggo jumps in. Kaiwing on a good flank position, and Honkyu dives in immediately with the solar flare coming out. Jojo is deceased, and now Alvaro might suffer the same fate. Honkyu looking for that flank, isn't going to go for it. Alvaro has to pop the ultimate, and CFO will get the kill and get the Atakan as well.
Yeah, just great vision control, great placement here from Kaiwing, you know, sitting over. It is this ward that really kind of made all the difference up on that top side. You know, he sees Jojo approaching, he's in that side brush, they control the vision, he goes immediately in, Honkyu's there to follow up, no chance for Jojo to get anything done.
Through that spell shield from the Sivir, the Drake's going to be secured by CFO. Second of the game, Chem Soul is the name of the game in this one. And, I mean, will really help with later game fights if you have that extra damage reduction. Then
for Alvaro.
Yeah, I mean, Alvaro has been an absolute beast this MSI, but even this might be a little bit of a road too far as he jumps onto Driver, equalize onto Doggo as well. There's a trample stun as they try and turn it around, but with the unstoppable onslaught, Driver's able to distract MKOI. Should be able to pick up the Scion here. He puts the shield down in the end. Super still chasing, will get the shutdown. 800 gold in his back pocket.
There you go, Preda Alvaro comes over the wall there, is able to help turn it around. And now they can even push forward here, maybe take the tier 1 off the back of that. And just like that, the gold lead becomes much more manageable. We were talking about 5K, now it is under 3K here. MKOI
game, but can still do a lot of work on the backline as Honkyu and Driver are going to start up this Baron.
Yeah, and they haven't spotted this yet. Junja is showing on mid lane intentionally, and Kaiwing is trying to zone them out, say, hey, we're not on it, but it is going to be spotted now.
Alvaro goes in, Kaiwing stunned up. And look for the solar flare turnaround, good double knock, and Fate Seal's going to land onto 3 as well. The equalizer comes down, and it's super untouched so far through this fight. Alvaro trying to get onto the back line. It's a double for Mir when his Driver falls. True Shot Barrage not going to do too much as MKOI is still very healthy. Junja, Honkyu, and Doggo have to try and hold on to this because otherwise MKOI will be looking at that Baron very greedily.
Get themselves into a position where they're losing a lot of HP to that Baron. Honkyu is already missing a third of his HP. Kaiwing was posturing so aggressively, and he just goes down without...
Alvaro chunked out a little bit. Baron down to 10,000. Jojo not here, currently sitting on the blue buff. He's going to teleport across as he secures that for MKOI, but that Baron's down to 6,000 HP. Jojo looking for that base seal, doesn't have it for a while. Alvaro goes in, doesn't get the knock-up, and Alvaro's down. Doggo gets the kill. Junja still sitting on that Baron. It's only at 5,000 HP though. Fate Seal about to come back up in 9 seconds time. Equalizer still available. Subjugate still available. On the hunt, coming back off cooldown as well as Alioya steps up, but Doggo untouched so far. Driver's been subjugated as Jojo Pyun looks for the Scion. Baron secured. Fate Seal onto the back line. The Equalizer doing a little bit of work on the Kaiwing as Junja now dashes in. Crescent Guard coming out. Junja will survive through it. Mirwin knocked up with a decimating smash, and Doggo comes in for his second kill of the fight. It's Honkyu actually secures it in the end. MKOI forced away the Baron for CFO. CFO can just walk right into this base. MKOI now 5,000 gold behind after only a couple of minutes ago being within 2K. They're going to lose an inhibitor on this bottom side. MKOI will try and defend through mid, but the tier 2 at least is gone as Driver raises it to the ground. A 6,000 gold lead.
Slam into the pillar and stop, but yeah, he just bounced off that thing like a pinball.
Fast and Furious 2, I believe that one. Was it 3 was Tokyo Drift? I can't remember. One of them.
Hit the nos and
it's about family, that's all that matters.
Family.
Okay? As CFO will make this dragon their family. 6 Drakes taken so far in this game.
Making it their family if they killed it. Much of an issue for him as long as he
vision.
has. Oh, he's
jump swords, Doggo misses everything, and the solar flare connects. Alvaro's going to try and save his mid lane, who has to flash away. The damage goes down onto Doggo and Drive, and you can see what the Ricochet can do here. Junja goes in with the Crescent Guard, looking for Honkyu here. Has that Emperor's Divide, Equalizer back down. Jojo going back in. Alvaro knocks Honkyu back, and he just delivers them. Here you go, CFO. 4 coins on a silver platter. Jojo the last man standing, but Honkyu just sweeps them away.
Alvaro betrays the team there. Thought he had a pick onto Honkyu, but just ends up delivering him onto the head of Supa. Thank you very much. He'll take the ultimate, and he's going to take game 1 as well.
Some delicious sushi there for the Flying Oysters. Pretty dominant performance all round from the LCP's #1 seed. MKOI left rattled, left battered and bruised as CFO have shown they're not here to lose, they're here to play.
Fire on Jojo, third item. I mean, standard just Royal Lich, rapid fire, throw out that gold guard. In comes the Caitlyn Q, in comes the Karma Q, in comes Lee Sin Q, and just constantly poking and prodding in that way.
More than anything. Doesn't even pop the cripple part of the E, that Tempest cripple. Junja, though, a magical journey to the bot lane as Alvaro flashes away. Super trying to get away as well, but a good Ishtar's impact. The root blocked there by Super. Alvaro will fall first, and now Super needs to get the hell out of here. Does still have a flash of his own. Doggo flashes, fourth shot to the back. Super and Alvaro fall. Yes.
And then Supa trying to survive, but we're going back to live.
Prison's going to hit. There's the Ishar's impact as well for the suppression. TP coming in from MKOI as they try and save Alvaro. Alioya jumps across the wall, and now Junja is in for a world of hurt. He'll fall. MKOI on the board as Mirwin.
No one is answering top lane right now, so that is Doggo that is getting this farm up on that top side, trying to catch up as far as the CS is concerned with Supa. And just, you can see, he's very slowly pushing this out. It will eventually stack and push away, but he's going to deny probably an entire wave.
Destiny in onto Honkyu. The Rune Prison comes out as well, but Mirwin gets the kill. Ishar's impact is going to take him back underneath the tower. Has to try and flash away. Junja puts him in the dirt, and Jojo Pyun will be able to walk away. A 1-for-1 exchange. CFO will get the feat of warfare.
They're crashing the wave. Yes, it is just a trade of summoners and things like that. They're looking for Jojo, though. They're going to be TPing in as well with the Bard.
Junja and Honkyu coming in, and the Stand United is everything invested to make sure that Jojo's done for. Buried on home soil, Jojo goes down.
The Avengers assemble. 4 members from CFO show up. It's a TP from the Bard. It's the Shen ultimate. It's the Realm Warp with 2. 4 members just materialize on your screen, knock down your mid laner, and now they're over here trying to take down these grubs. Alioya looking to see if there's an angle to steal one away.
He already got the first one, so this would be the second for MKOI if they can get it, and they do manage to sneak it away in the face of CFO. CFO on Doggo, who's picked up those 2 kills, and so he's about 500 gold ahead. As Junja's caught out a little bit here. Alvaro looking for that tether, will land it. Super takes a bit of a chunk, but so does Junja, down to half HP. Tempered Fate coming out. Super decides to flash it with Doggo coming in from the side. Honkyu flashes forward. There's the Stand United. Alioya looking for the kick away. Can't get it in time, and with the curtains opening, the public execution is a little bit too late onto Doggo. Mirwin dashing onto that backline. Doggo flashes away. Alvaro forced down towards the bottom side. Now Mirwin's in the middle of Junja and Kaiwing. The flash forward with the Cosmic Binding isn't going to connect, so Mirwin will take one. Alvaro coming in and has the shields as well with that Inspire. Alvaro now needs to run though. Rooted up with the Rune Prison. Destiny comes out from Jojo. Gold card locked in. Honkyu slowed up, and MKOI will turn the fight around.
Looks for him, but he's going to get avoided. And then finally, Jojo does arrive and gets a kill. On the back end of that play, CFO do grab the dragon, but nicely done there by MKOI.
Tempered Fate again. There's the Shadow Dash for the taunt. Deadly Flourish coming out as well. Jojo has to flash away. And will manage to survive. It's a race for the first tower as well.
About that, getting additional gold here onto the Caitlyn. Still good aggressive play from CFO in the mid lane. It was a nice sidestep on the Bard ultimate. You know, gets the Karma move speed from the shield, able to backstep, avoid that, but
get the Mikhails off immediately. Captain Jacket, or you can even Mikhails yourself with a tiny window just beforehand, because it takes a little bit of time to cast. Driver's going to be able to get the tower on the bottom side. MKOI posturing around this Rift Tower, down to 3,000 HP. Junja trying to step in range for the Smite. Destiny comes out, Junja steps forward. There's the stun card, and Alioya will secure the Rift Tower and the boots for MKOI.
Something really interesting there. So Mirwin was playing off vision that entire time. He was basically sitting in this area right here trying to hide. And I think what he was hoping was that CFO would fully commit to the fight, and then he would jump in and surprise, I'm already here, be able to turn around.
Chases Driver out of this jungle as well. Junja will be able to come across. He flashes forward for the Ishtar's impact. There's the Impale as well. And look at the damage on Alioya. Snap! Have the teleport currently on this Twisted Fate. Running the heal and the flash. Alvaro flashes immediately away from Honkyu. But the chase continues as Junja finds his man in the jungle. Alvaro with a great mantra there to get a little bit of extra health back. Super tries to open up on Honkyu, and now the collapse begins for MKOI. Stand United coming out as Honkyu steps forward onto Mirwin. Mirwin flashes away himself. Jojo's here. Gold card locked in. Tempered Fate hits 2. Junja looking for the Ishtar's impact. Oh, everything mistimed. The Impale too slow. The dash in too fast. MKOI are going to look for more as they get the kickback. Public execution onto the backline. MKOI begin to turn the tides in the fight. Flash forward from Super. Immediately into Driver, who lands the taunt. Junja tries to open up, but can't get close enough. Super able to get away across the wall. The chase onto Junja continues. Alioya so deep though. And the rest of MKOI unable to back him up. Alvaro caught with a deadly flourish. The curtains open, looking for Super. Can't bind him as he steps out of the back of the range.
Not able to actually grab that last kill. Really messy fight though, back and forth. Looked like it was going to be really positive for MKOI, and then CFO, they hit this great Bard ulti, and you're thinking, uh-oh, MKOI is going to get cooked here. But Kaiwing throws out the binding way too early. The Impale is not there. You know, everything missed time from CFO. Opportunity here, but wards are on it.
There's a great TP ward for Driver in that Tribush as well. MKOI are going to teleport in Jojo Pyun. Otacon already down to 7,000 HP. Honku trying to get in here as well. Ginger might be too late to get here. Ishtal's impact going forward, looking for the smite, but kicked away. Now they'll turn onto Honku. Public execution down onto him, rooted up as well by the Yordle Snapchat. He'll fall. MKOI need to retreat out of the curtain calls. Alvaro takes the first shot, Jojo the second and the third. Driver trying to step in, looking for that shadow dash. Mirwin waiting in the bush, seeing if he can find an engage. Driver dashes away with the taunt, and MKOI will back away.
Nicely done, MKOI, getting that bit of pressure all off of this failed dive onto Supa.
Pyun is just behind the team right now, does have the Destiny. If he wants to go in, will land the gold card. You can see the extra range from the rapid fire cannon there, helping out. Tempered Fate hits two though, as Supa needs to get out of here. Taunted immediately, Junjo on the chase as well, and Supa has no recourse to survive. Next up is Mirwin, rooted up, the Mikhail's too late. The Ishtal's impact into the Impale, Alyoya dashes in, but immediately is shadow dash taunted. CFO find two curtains open, Jojo takes one, takes two. Alvaro able to get out to the side, but Jojo's going to fall for it. Kaiwing chasing his opposite man with the Realm Orb coming out. He's sent to the Shadow Realm. CFO with a clean ace.
That's massive for CFO. I mean, not only to get a 5-for-0 ace, they're going to get Baron, they're going to get Dragon, they're going to move to Soul Point here. That is huge. And just like that, they blow the game open. Well, maybe not the Dragon, as it looks like Dragon has hands, as Shen finds out, unfortunately. But they will still be able to take down the Baron. And it all was off of these small differences. Alvaro did not have his Mikhails at the start of that fight. It was a couple seconds on cooldown. And now open up an absolutely enormous lead here. They will eventually get back to that Dragon and take that as well. Being on Mountain Soul Point is really problematic when you're already behind.
Especially on, it's a relatively low damage composition coming out from MKOI. When you're in this spot, you only have a 2-item AD carry. Mirwin almost caught, has to flash. Serpent's Fang on Mirwin as well to try and get through some of the shields that are happening on CFO. That's Stand United, obviously one of them. Rise getting shields as well. Driver's going to be able to push through the mid lane. Goes in with the taunt. Alyoya with the kickback. Dragon's Rage underneath the tower. Driver surviving for an absolute age, and we talk about no damage, and there it is. Driver will go down. The curtains open as Ginger goes in with the Impale. They'll find one in answer. It's Alvaro falling. Magical Journey away from Ginger. Destiny going in as well as Jojo Pyun looks for them, but he goes too deep and has to flash himself. CFO are unrelenting in their pressure here. Honku flashes forward, can't quite land the spell flux, but the Realm Orb's there for the chase, and Doggo's barking. He jumps back in as Mirwin's looking for the engage, but he's knocked into the wall, and what can he do? In the face of 4 of CFO, this might just be game.
It's looking like it. Doggo knocks down another one there. They are going to pull back, though. They do have some low health bars. Driver got very aggressive, goes to the taunt flash in the 1v3. Is not able to make anything happen, but he does at least get Mikhails out. He buys a lot of time for the rest of the team to come over, and CFO with this gold leader just so confident to continue the fight here, posturing so aggressively. We saw very many summoners getting used, and now they're looking for Jojo. They're just TPing.
He steps forward immediately, TP. There's the Tempered Fate as well. Kaiwing teleported in with the Unsealed Spellbook to hit the Tempered Fate, and CFO are not giving MKOI a moment to breathe. It's fine. Use your front line. There's the redemption, back to full HP. The inhibitor tower goes down. Baron about to expire on them, but they can just push forward for the inhibitor because MKOI still don't have their mid laner for 20 seconds.
Yeah, CFO electing to just kind of back off right now, though. Honku has no ult, has no TP. Explosive X Factor is Alyoya, so it falls squarely on his shoulders.
The captain of the team rebuilt it around him.
He's behind them.
As he is behind them on that flank position. The Dragon secured by Honku in just a moment's time. Has that Realm Warp. That's why he's been left to his own devices down there. Will be Soul for CFO. There we go. He secures it. Driver looking in. TP coming out from Honku as Jojo Pyun will land the stun across the wall, but Ginger's already onto towards the back line. Driver's taken no damage as of yet. Mirwin trying to dance around. Honku goes very deep though, but there's the Stand United, there's the shield, there's the Seraphs! The angel on his shoulder keeps him alive. Alvaro forced away, and Honku just jumped into the middle of MKOI, survived. Driver TPs into the base. MKOI, they had one last roll of the dice, but it's coming up Snake Eyes.
Not going to be able to do anything there. Honku knows his strength, pairs up with Driver, and they are on the march to take down this game.
Alyoya's going to try and defend, but he's the only one left standing for MKOI alongside Alvaro, who might die as the collapse from CFO can just come in. The inhibitor does respawn in the mid lane. There's Doggo. 10-0-8. His bite is worse than his bark. And CFO pushing. Elioya trying to defend, but what can he do against all of CFO? One game away from glory here for Apex. CFO are flying high.
Otherwise, what is your CC? You're waiting for a Fear Tether to proc the Plasma so that Kaisa can go into the back line? It just wouldn't make sense. So it's going to be very interesting. Two teams playing two very different styles.
Stacked here onto Rest. Doesn't have another Blade Surge to work with, but Rest forced back once again. Yorick does have a few innate tools for sustain. Last right giving you a bit of health back as Jojo taken out. Thought he could escape with the flash, but the threefold Hex just follows him.
Jojo just admitting the mistake, but MKOI looking for a dive here. Rest in trouble.
Yeah, slammed into the wall. There's the flawless duet to follow up, and Elioya on the board. MKOI get there first. Mirwin gets a plate. We'll get him to safety. Goes invisible. Doesn't have to burn the flash, which I think is really what MKOI were looking for there, just trying to even out that summoner spell disadvantage. Honku flashes in though, and Jojo's dead again! That's not optimal, but Honku is absolutely slapping. Elioya comes in, will put the hammer down and get a kill in response, but Honku in the 1v1 is just destroying Jojo. Tether is enough to keep Super safe. He was actually positioning up because that plate was about to fall on the top side, so he wanted to get the gold from it. Elioya now coming down towards the bottom side. Rest does have his flash available, puts down the cage, but I don't think Rest is able to escape from this. Meanwhile, on the top side, Alvaro and Jojo Pyun are still fighting. Jojo Pyun down to a third HP as Rest falls on the bottom side. Able to escape. Kaiwin and Honku coming up on top in the mid lane.
Pumping out the damage, positioning well. He is just such a talent, and really is so fun to actually watch him. And Emily was just telling me about an interview that he had given where he was saying this MSI is so important to him because it felt like it was the first time that he had earned it himself, you know, actually getting there himself. Of course, he had subbed in before in the past on loan for another team, but this is, you know, him earning his trip here and really wants to perform well to show that, hey, you know, I deserve to be here amongst the best in the world.
I think there's a lot of people as well who have only watched him in the LPL as the paranoia goes down onto Mirwin, who has no flash and no escape from this. Rest gets the shutdown.
Side as we saw that Rest went back to base, you know, wanted to heal back up, get a buy. And Mirwin, as a result, was able to continue farming plates on that tower. And MKOI now are first onto this dragon. Genja's on the side, though, and Honku's moving over as well, so it could be a potential for a fight.
It might just be a fight afterwards. There's the paranoia coming out. Smite goes in from Elioya. Seismic shove shielded by Ginger. Doggo and Kaiwing things off. First item complete as well for Super and for Jojo Pyun. It's the Archangels and the Yuntal Wind Arrows. First items across the board actually for both teams as MKOI set up around the Rift Herald. Kaiwing looking for that flank position. Prey Seeker's going to come out as Doggo tries to connect, but the Rift Herald is secured by MKOI. Alongside it, those upgraded boots.
Yeah, and Genja had no ultimate, so you're pretty much never going to look for a fight, you know, in that position. Nocturne without ult in a team fight is just so useless, and Rest just going to tank up this damage and knock down the tower. It is incredibly low, so we'll be able to finish that off. Nicely done by him. Both of them, honestly, you know, Honku just drops the ult, clears out the wave, runs away from the dive, so they have to walk through the tower. And that buys his support time to get there. They're looking for a dive on bot side.
Paranoia onto Mirwin. The Fear Tether's going to connect as well as Rest flashing forward, but they can't quite kill him. Doggo comes in with a killer instinct and will take out Mirwin. Meanwhile, there's a dive onto Honku. The tower's not going to stand for much longer. Mirwin gets the kill. Super down towards this bottom side has got one in response. Doggo's already dead as alongside Rest. So Jojo dies at bot. Mirwin gets a kill at top. Super picks up 2 in the end on the bot lane.
Yeah, that is really big. Super going to be able to grab a couple kills, and they're going to drop the Herald mid here now. So you're going to be able to charge this one in. Maybe finish this off as well. It's just the support in the area, so should be able to finish it off. More gold going the way of MKOI. Over 3,000 gold ahead. Going to be able to get a second charge in also. And Kaiwing's getting low. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, pops the heal.
I feel like a Bloodthirster popping up
Start in the game. It's a free Bloodthirster. It's the only way I think I'd be able to beat most of the players here. Between worlds from Honku, he's going to look to try and dash away, but can't get to the edge of the ring. Alvaro still chasing. Elioya looking for the keeper's verdict, doesn't connect. Honku jumps back with the weirding, but in the end will fall to Super, who's now 3-0 with a 1.4k gold lead.
Yeah, nicely done. CFO, though, in the area, thinking about looking for an engage.
Paranoia. Ginger goes in onto Super, who doesn't have the Feather Storm. The tower will fall. The dash in is stopped by the Steadfast Presence, but the Charm's still going to connect. The shutdown with the Grand Entrance. Alvaro now on the front line as Doggo begins to open up. Elioya doing what he can. Jojo coming in from the side as well. Ginger's going to fall. MKOI turn it around and get 2 kills in response.
Nicely done. Are able to knock down that tower there too. And Mirwin now pushing through mid lane here. He's got his second item, and Rest is going to have to be careful, but Kaiwing is in the area.
Yeah, Weaver's wall though. Mirwin just has to survive for a couple of seconds. Kaiwing dashes away, but but the chase comes in from Mirwin. Kaiwin will fall, TP in from Hongq. He's lost his support, though, alongside his top laner. This game 3 of the best of 5. The domination that CFO had in the first 2 games, a not too distant memory, and we've seen MKOI take a few fights in Game 1 and Game 2 that have swung things in CFO's favor. So it's not all done yet, but they are in prime position to close this one out and take us at least to a Game 4. Paranoia coming out. So we see Mirwin trying to dash forward. Flawless duet doesn't land the stun. TP coming out from Alvaro to try and protect. It's going to be a 4v2, but Mirwin looking to take down 2 before they get in the quickness in time. Ginger will die to the tower shot as Alvaro tries to retreat. He remounts, was looking for Hongq but couldn't find him. And there's the knockup with the grand entrance. Kaiwing tanking it well. Alvaro down to Doggo. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Elioya, Jojo, and Super are pushing in. Rest doesn't have the flash, but the stun doesn't connect against the wall. The keeper's verdict, though, will keep him in place. And Super brings back the daggers to get the kill.
Good proactive play on the top side there from CFO, but it just doesn't really matter because MKOI, again, getting a play back on the bot side, getting a kill back on the top side, taking down the tier 2 as well.
An extra safety blanket that MKOI needed to make sure that they can secure it. They'll get the Artican.
Which makes getting vision a lot more difficult. That's why Alvaro is going so deep for that vision. You need wards in your opponent's jungle, not even just your own, but they're going to go for an age.
Paranoia coming out. The Weaver's Wall has been popped. Super trying to join the party here as Elioya's on the front line. Between worlds, doesn't matter. MKOI just assassinate too. Hongq looking to survive, but he's locked up against the wall. Jojo hits him with a threaded volley, and Super brings back the feathers to secure the double. Alvaro looking for the flank onto Doggo, who has the killer instinct and will be able to dash his way away. 15 seconds time would be sole point for MKOI. Elioya going in here, trying to steal away this blue. The Weaver's Wall will separate CFO. Paranoia coming out from Ginger, but he's on the wrong side of dodge, and he'll be taken out, slammed into that Weaver's Wall. Jojo secures the kill, and now with the jungler down, Baron becomes a little bit of an option.
Being reactive, right? It's MKOI now that are on the front foot. It's them that are playing much more aggressive with this gold lead, as you want to see them do, and they're working in towards this soul now.
Already used. We'll be back up in about 7 seconds time. TP coming out from Rest as he looks to join the frame. Irwin's in the mid lane. CFO trying to get in, but it's secured by Elioya. Alvaro dashes onto the back line. Kaiwing already down, and I think that will be all for the fight. MKOI managed to secure the objective. The Weaver's Wall coming out, though. Elioya has other ideas as he dashes in onto Hongq. Magnastorm on Hongq means that he can't escape between worlds. Jojo still looking for more. Ginger lands the Fear Tether onto Alvaro, but the stun still connects, and the Shroud of Darkness won't be enough to save him from Elioya. MKOI now looking greedily at getting a game in this series.
And I think they're going to do just that. It doesn't look like there's much that CFO can do about it. It's just Doggo going to try to defend here with Rest, but MKOI are pushing, and they are looking for the first win.
Kaiwing goes in, gets the double knockup. The Blades are called back. Super, though, will kill off Kaiwing. Vanguard's edge in from Mirwin. Doggo having to flash away. He'll get 2 on the fountain. Jojo, Super, and Alvaro, though, should still be able to clean this one up. Super flashing forward, and with the Blade caller, he'll find his opposite man. MKOI show there's still life in EU yet as they get a game versus CFO.
And it is paired with some really early game and aggressive picks. So it is kind of interesting. You know, sometimes people will talk about drafts like that and they'll say, well, that's your late game insurance, right? Like that's your win condition in the late game.
A little bit further back because of the threat of Ginger.
Yeah, they absolutely did. But I mean, CFO's bot lane played it out really, really well. Yep. You know, utilizing the additional sniper range in those early autos, constantly poking away at Supa, you know, keeping him pushed in. And as a result, it's been very difficult here for Supa and Alvaro. We'll have to see, you know, when you hit 6, sometimes you can find an all-in that just kind of turns things around.
From Elioya available, but don't really want to jump onto the Pantheon without the rest of your team there to follow up. Grubs up. Jojo's ultimate still yet to come off cooldown. Arcane Storm used by Hongq to clear out the wave in mid. Elioya's going for it. Cease and desist. Ginger's immediately going to stun him up. The handshake coming out as well as Hongq has a couple of spears in his back, and Super needs the rend. He finds it. Alvaro survives the last tower shot, and MKOI on the board.
Not kind of expecting that at this point. And we'll just be going for heavy scaling. This driver's going to take a fight.
Goes all out onto Mirwin. Slice and Dice has already been used. Mirwin does still have his flash, but so does Driver if he wants to follow up. Mirwin, he took the fight. Ruthless Predator for the stun across the wall. Elioya can come and join it. Gets the knock-up on the Driver, who flashes away, but the flash chase is there. Driver trying to survive through this. Kaiwing almost there, almost in range to get him out. The hook just short of hitting Mirwin, but the follow-up from Doggo is superb. CFO turn the fight around.
Yeah, Doggo gets in there with the flash, able to finish him off, grabbing that kill. That is big. Plus 20 CS, it's plus a kill. It's all 1,000 gold almost here for Doggo. And he's going to get this first tower here quite easily, you have to think. They're up 2K at 12 minutes in.
And they've taken all of the neutral objectives as well. 3 grubs, 2 drakes, CFO in such a strong position here. MKOI have been left reeling, and they're trying to get things back on the map. But as you can see, like their early game pressure.
Probably going to try to save it here for that next dragon and maybe try to make a big impact there. One of the things you can do is really put the pressure on the Acel and try to force them to use that ultimate.
Cease and desist onto Hongkyu, who puts down the gravity well, will land the double stun, but doesn't get out of it in time. Ginger now. Oh, flash from Elioya, just short of catching Ginger. Smites exchanged, so they both look for the slow. TP coming in behind here as the Falling Scar was used in the mid lane. Alvaro looking for Kaiwing and Doggo. I think it was just an engage.
Get a kill on the top side. They knock down Hongkyu. Mirwin not feeling confident to actually step out of the brush, doesn't know if anyone's behind him, so he's just going to watch the tower fall.
Also, the risk of the Grand Starfall always there from the Pantheon, can just jump in, especially when the tower is low. He jumps in, autos the tower, and then you're in a 2v1 without the safety of your turret.
It's about those interactions, but still, they get the flash off him. They're putting pressure on Hongkyu. This is the way that MKOI have said, this is how we're going to come back in the game. Force the Victor out to the side lanes, obviously not a very mobile champion, and then prey on him with that vibe. That is your ability to try to pick someone off, to constantly create opportunities. But at the same time, if you show up this far behind with no empowered Acel ult, it is really, really tough.
Flank attempt here by MKOI. Elioya goes in. Doggo flashes away from the cease and desist range early. Jojo joining the fray. There's the cease and desist onto Hongkyu. The Sun follows up. Super and Alvo chasing in as Doggo unleashes with the Severum Crescendum, but he's taken out. Elioya falls as well. Ginger's the one to get the kill. Super with the bailout on him. It expires, and Ginger can't quite get the damage. The spear off to the side. Alvo's going to get chased out by Hongkyu. Mirwin flashing forward across the wall, looking for the stun there as well. Alvo surviving. Jojo trying to rejoin the fray. Mirwin will take one. The Astral flight forward as Kaiwing flashes to safety as well. Riftheld will get the charge into mid. The tower will go over to CFO, but MKOI have shown a brief sign of life.
I mean, that is huge. They're able to get a lot of kills there. They get both the summoners off of Doggo and get the kill. Brett is still there. Doggo has the IE now as well, and he is right back to pushing.
Yeah, you're still not in the game. You are still massively behind as MKOI. You need another couple of fights like that if you're going to get back into it. Great for Super that he picked up the shutdown goal, but it's still a massive lead for Doggo. Falling Star coming out from Jojo. Astral Flight will get him across the wall and out of Driver's clutches. The mid lane tier 2 very low here for MKOI. They've already lost the tier 2. The skies descend. Really a game changer in a fight like this, but Alvaro's already down to half HP. Look how far Doggo is back from the team. That's the safety of his tower there. Astral Flight forward from Jojo, trying to get onto Hongkyu, gets the knock-up. Elioya down to half HP though. Ginger dashes back in onto Super. Alvaro with a hostile takeover is going to land it, but not onto Doggo, and that's the key target. Mirwin with the Dominus looking for the flank position, but he can't find it, so MKOI have to disengage. Hongkyu still chasing and can't quite get the damage in. There's the stopwatch, but here comes the Grand Starfall. The bailout enough to bring Jojo back, but Doggo has a Moonlight Vigil, and he's sending MKOI to the grave. The dash in is not enough for Mirwin as CFO come out on top.
MKOI tried to force it here. They bet their game on a battle over the Otacon with the empowered Acel ultimate, but they cannot make it work. They lose multiple members here. 3 fall down. They lose the Otacon.
Dress and a Mikhail's and a Pantheon and a Cassante in front of him. He'll take the tier 2 tower in the mid lane. They push Mirwin back. Driver just clearing out waves down towards this bottom side.
Flanking position here, but MKOI may just get pincered.
Driver could just all out onto Super. Does have that up, but no flash for him. Mirwin forced away towards the top side. CFO take control over the Dragon. Elioya goes in, only onto Kaiwing. Doggo still untouched. Mirwin looking for the flank position. The Falling Star comes down. The hostile takeover is going to hit on Doggo, but immediately cleanses away and Super's already down. Driver on the back line's doing so much work here. Elioya with the bailout can't kill off Ginger. And there's the soul. And the soul of EU is ripped right out of their very bodies. CFO cleaning up the fight and looking for the Grand Starfall to make it the ace. Comet Spear just wide. Ginger can't see over the wall. Mirwin with the slice and dice. Kaiwing with a lantern flash, and Mirwin will not be allowed to survive.
It is a clean ace, and the question is, what more can they go for? Elioya critically during the bailout stole the Dragon, so Soul did not go over, but still 5 for 0 here. They're going to crack the base as well. CFO are looking incredibly strong. Trying to get back in, find a way to win a fight without their key ultimates.
Jojo showing on the bot wave as well. Would have to teleport up here. They're going to go for the battle. Elioya trying to go the long way around to look for a steal. There it goes. The smite secures it. Junja will get the Baron for CFO.
There's no wards in this whole section for MKOI, so even after they're able to actually have this spawn, how do they get over there? How do they actually try to defend?
Oh, Jojo teleports in. Driver looking for that flank position once again. The singularity out from Jojo will hold the wave for now. Breath of Light as well to try and clear out some of these Baroned up minions. Driver in the mid lane is on that inhibitor. And MKOI aren't trying to defend. The Infernum almost just wipes them. The Redemption coming down almost takes out Alvaro. But immediately MKOI have to back away. A Moonlight Vigil from Doggo made me think of Aphelios of yesterday.
That was looking like 300 years.
It was just absolutely absurd from the CFO AD carry, now knocking on the Nexus. CFO, just a single kill away, you have to feel, from this best of 5 victory. They'll take down one Nexus tower. Elioya still looking for the flank, but he's marked. Doggo still just waiting for Elioya. The Nexus tower, they can't clear the minions quickly enough, so it's going to fall. All out comes out. There's the falling star. Hostile takeover coming across the side as well as Driver is down. Junja runs to fight his teammates. Runs away from MKOI.
I have no vision, I have no chance, I can't die here or the game will just end. So you have to give up the soul. CFO moments away, you have to think, from a potential match here with AL. Looking to try to close this one out.
Hook misses. Dominus out from Mirwin. Elioya looking for the flank position. Hostile takeover used as well, but CFO just back away and then reset. Junja going in. Falling Star coming out as they dive onto Doggo, but he cleanses and flashes, and now he's barking. Doggo with the chase in. CFO cleaning up the fight. The Nexus in their eyes. After 13 years of hurt, the light of the LCP shines bright as they claim a best of 5 against a major region.
Both comps, honestly, have very clear strengths and weaknesses. I think the BLG want to play a slightly slower game. When you draft that Kalista Renata, my instincts are always that you want to try and play aggressively through the bot side of the map.
Having the smite available, if you lose that maiden early, the cooldown is so long, it feels really bad, and you feel like you've lost a huge part of the power budget of your character, as now the Pantheon from T1. Owner has secured the first Drake of the game, 6 minutes and 45 seconds in. Beishwang coming back up into the top side. Doran forced to flash away again, but nice handshake brings him right on back, and BLG get first blood.
Owner, though, setting his sights on mid.
Right, flashing away, stays safe from that one as Karia's Tangle Barb's going to force out the summoner spell from the BLG mid laner, but it does cost Karia's flash at the same time.
The mid gold gap really starting to increase in Faker's favor. We don't get a chance to talk about the previous play.
Yeah, Karia's already in danger. Remember, he used his flash trying to go after Knight. Now he's already dead. Owner wants to jump in and make something else happen, but he has to flash back over the wall. As on, Elk and Beishwan continue going forward. Elk needs a bailout if he wants to survive, and he gets it! Elk stays alive! Gumayushi tries to fire back, but he's got to reload the gun. Now the curtain call's open on sidestepping 3. The 4th can't hit Beishwan, but the dancing grenade dances on his grave. BLG up 3-1.
To escape, at the very least, Gumayushi will get one back.
And you could see at the end there, Gumayushi, he takes 3 shots at the escaping players from BLG, thinks maybe he can convert that 4th onto Beishwan, but Beishwan had the distance.
It's going to be super important as both these AD carries want to be in a position to fight. With the Youmu's completed for Guma, he should have a slight advantage over Elk. With no Blade of the Ruin King finish just yet, but T1 do not want to give this up without a fight.
Owner jumps in, immediately goes for the stun on the Knight. Carrier with a bomb blossom onto 3, but the backup damage isn't quite there. Owner's going to be chased away next. The Deadly Flourish doesn't hit Elk. Owner's going to take a ton of damage. The bailout from Elk is not there in time. Faker's Shockwave finds 2, and T1 get a double kill for their Orianna and take the fight.
Just like that, T1 flip the fight on its head and they get themselves 3 kills. BLG It looked so good at the start of the fight for them.
Reason that this champion is considered by many to be the best jungler on the patch as Beishwan goes in for Faker, and now it's trouble for the T1 mid lane. The handshake pulls him right on back. Knight's got enough damage and a shutdown for BLG.
Now BLG are not the type of team to go out without a fight.
Here now, Knight will have his teleport. I believe there's still a few seconds remaining on that cooldown to use that to make his way into the fight, but Faker has been found out. Beishwan tackles Faker out of the decimating smash, and Owner's made his way into the fight, but he's immediately ejected by the Keeper's verdict. Faker still under pressure. Decimating smash hits this time, but Ben and Beishwan don't have any damage. Ben tries to get away, but a Pop Blossom locks him up. A deadly flourish to follow. Hostile takeover saves Ben's life as Elk and On try to fire into Gumayusi. Elk goes forward. Gumayusi still shielded and getting away as Faker's the target for On, but Elk and On have overextended. Faker's already killed On as T1 scramble for defense, and BLG way overplay their hand.
T1 do not lose a single member. BLG collapse onto Faker, but the Avengers descend in an instant. T1 are there to protect their mid laner. They turn the play massively in their favor. Going too deep. We're back to live.
We're already back to live, and Faker's got another target on his back. He's got another shockwave on BLG, and Carrier picks up the kill. Target, but it's only a Nico clone. The power of this ability as now another catch for T1 spells the end of Beishwan in this river. The death timer's 30, the Drake timer's 15. This is going to be sole point for the side of T1. 17 minutes into the game. Meanwhile, Vedius, we haven't seen Doran in a while. That's because he's doing a little bit of construction work in the side lanes, flashing forward after Knight to try to get this kill in the solo. The Maiden of the Mist giving him the lifesteal. He's trying to sidestep. He only needed an inch to get close enough to swing the shovel, but Knight denies it. While Doran drops to the BLG mid laner in the top side, the Herald is going to be summoned in mid lane. The Drake is going to be taken. It's sole point 18 minutes in for T1.
My goodness, T1 is running away with game one.
Drake lead for the side of T1. All BLG really has here are those 3 Void Grubs, but Vedius, when you're this far down, you can't get to the turrets. On, forced to be saved by Elk, as Doran's gonna take a ton of damage in a counterattack. Nice kill for BLG, and they're about to make it 2. Carrier in danger, but now Beishwan, stunned up by the Pantheon, forced to flash to survive. Faker flashes forward, but he can't get the distance in time. He keeps looking for more. Owner wants to make his way in with another shockwave, finding its way onto Elk. On drops next. Gumayushi's got his number, and T1's counting bodies. Another Pop Blossom, another double kill of a Faker. Beishwan dies to a point-blank spear, and T1 runs the rift.
BLG get a kill onto Doran, but look at what it cost them. 4 members fall, and T1 are steamrolling over BLG.
They're going to go after the Otacon, immediately ready to start this one up, as BLG know they can't afford to give an objective away when they're already this far down. Faker trying to use the ball to zone On out. Hostile takeover goes through, but it doesn't find much of anything else. Going to be zoned away now by the rest of T1 as immediately you got a problem for Doran. Beishwan takes him down. Curtain call's been opened up. Beishwan might just die here. One last shot goes through, and the 4th shot finds its mark. Now Ben trying to steal away the Otacon, but it's not going to matter. Doran and Beishwan have been traded, but everybody else is still alive. Faker claims the Otacon, and T1 get the objective as they look potentially for more of a fight. Carrier thinking about a Tangle Barb here, but he can't get the range in time. Ben still here on the front line, gets caught by the Tangle Barb. Carrier knocked into the unraveled earth, but he stays alive for now. Owner steps forward with a shield, not quite enough damage. Shut down from Elk, but Faker takes out 2. T1 unrelenting as Carrier kills Knight over the wall, and only Ben is left standing. Gumayusi fires another shot, but it's a triple kill for Faker to seal the deal.
T1 will leave no survivors. The Otacon was not enough. They saw blood in their eyes, and they took out the rest of the BLG roster. A tier 2 tower will fall.
And T1 now with an Infernal Soul with 20 flowers of a lead thanks to the Otacon harvesting everything for them. They are so strong. BLG will need a full-on miracle.
That flowers, it's too difficult for BLG to contest this objective. They're still going to try, though. The TP comes through from Knight.
It's a full send from BLG, perhaps, as Keria goes in. He finds the pop blossom of the BLG mid laner, and Knight is already dead as the fight starts. Ben's made his way into the back, but Faker will not be threatened by a Scion alone. Owner continues pressing forward, and Gumayushi puts the kill shot into On. Beishwan's the next to fall, and Doran buries him. T1 with a Baron plus 3 kills will force their way into the base. Elk continues fighting and kiting and trying to get away. The deadly flourish doesn't connect, but it gives him enough space to get the kill right after. Guma's unstoppable, and only Ben is standing. T1 slam this first game.
Gumayushi involved in 20 of the team's 22 kills, has the Nexus in his eyes, and is looking to close things out.
The Nexus turrets are nothing but a formality. Ben's health bar, the same thing as T1. It was close for about 10 minutes, and then it was not ever again in this first one. T1 takes game 1.
T1 bringing out the Braum to try and mitigate some of that engaged strength that BLG have crafted for themselves. It's a very slow and steady affair here, 6 minutes in. Dragon becomes a point of contention as the Scuttle Crab is what they're setting their sights on for now.
Ooh, Knight drops the combo there on Faker, but now Doran launching out the Ornhorn. Beishwan could be in a little bit of danger, but Ben's here ready to back him up. The equalizer's already been used. Doran very low, about to die. It's first blood over to Knight and BLG.
An ambitious commitment from Doran. Kind of what we expected them to do. Not looking to actually fight the Groves, but instead cross-map. Play more towards the Drakes. And I think it's completely fine to get yourself that Drake, because when we talk about that kind of powerful mid-game spike on the side of BLG, if you're conceding Dragons and Grubs and all of these neutral objectives, the problem you find yourself in is that you're forced into a fight when you do not want to take it. So getting that Dragon alleviates some of that pressure, but the sieging power now, thanks to these Grubs secured by BLG.
Extra gold if they can knock down a bunch of these plates, and that's going to start up here in the top lane. Doran's the target as it's a 4-man dive onto the T1 top laner, and Doran dies before the second part of the Ornhorn can come through. Beishwan's low, but close isn't good enough. Got the Rod of Ages already fully completed and stacking. The only additional item past his starter item he got was the refillable potion, but now he has to flash away. Beishwan's ready to follow. Ben's got the follow-up. The turret ain't even dead yet. Owner and Faker wanted to commit for the objective. They'll get it, but at great cost. Turret to T1, double kill over to BLG as Keria and Gumayushi trying to make a play on the Knight, but he's already back to safety.
Duo, BLG not going to waste any time. They know they're stronger, they're going to force this objective.
Yeah, T1's hanging around the area, but I think they're just going to get a front row seat to the Dragon dying. BLG pick up their second neutral objective this game. As a TP though.
This neutral objective, Carrier's in the area, but I really don't think T1 can look to contest this. They're a little too slow, and this objective is dying way too fast.
Yep, not only is that going to be Rift Herald to the side of BLG, but the third neutral objective secures the third and final feat, guaranteeing that BLG has the extra power on those boots as well. So
he's been left isolated a lot of this game, and you can see that resulting in the XP advantage. Now Doran caught out.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, though. Doran is only strong against magical damage. Beishwan does a lot of damage with that stick, and Knight, plenty of extra firepower to back it up there and secure the kill.
Scoreline of 5-0. The TP. Oh, a double TP, actually. They're trying to collapse onto Knight or Beishwan. I don't think they're really going to get much off the back of this. Owner, though, heavily committing onto Knight.
Yeah, T1 really want to get some kind of a punish here. Knight still trying to get away when becomes lightning, slows him down. Keria misses the winner's bite. Exhaust used to guarantee that Knight can't try to get anything back. Slows him down enough. Shut down over to Faker. 18 minutes and 51 seconds into the game. T1 gets their first kill.
State is a little bit awkward, but they find the pick that they were looking for. Without Knight, it becomes a lot harder for BLG to contest. BLG instead are setting their sights on the mid-tier 1. They want to be able to trade this neutral. They're going to pick it up.
Keria with the Glacial Fissure trying to stop the exit of BLG there, but BLG can get away safely. They don't have to spend any summoner spells doing that. Owner still working on taking this dragon down. And the important thing here, I think, for T1, they got the pick on tonight at a time where they can then stop further stacking. Start up the Otacon. T1 looking to approach, but BLG is ready for him. The Otacon down to 1/3 HP. Keep your eyes on Doran. That could be the big engage, but Knight is waiting over along in the tri-barrage. Doran tries to fire back into him. Pressure on Ben and Doran immediately now as the Otacon's going to be stolen away by Owner. Base one is low. On is already down. Gumayushi with the kill. Knight has to try to run away alongside Ben as Owner kills Base one too. Elk has to try to get away, and Owner is on the chase. Ben and Knight trying to escape, and T1 work their magic again.
T1 find the fight. From Knight came down onto Doran, the frontliner, the tank. Oh, BLG though, they're responding.
Yeah, BLG thinking about this. The Unbreakable gonna stop another True Shot barrage. Elk jumps in. Keria still low. Ben wants to burn them all up. A little bit more damage isn't there though as Ben gets stunned. T1 continuing their retreat. BLG trying to find anybody as the ace in the hole forces BLG to regroup to protect Knight's health bar. Needing to step away to the side here as T1 pressure forward, looking for the tier 1 turret. Doran being the front line, creating the space for Gumayushi to take the objective. The gold lead for BLG.
Well, Faker's got a 2.5 level advantage over Knight. Knight is fishing for a pick, but Owner's there to cover.
Okay, Owner trying to protect, but Owner may just have to give his life for this. Wants to dash back over to Beishuan for safety. Owner will die, and Faker's the next target. Timbers and Beishuan charging forward as On locks up the T1 mid laner, but Faker's getting away for now. Doran with a massive Orn ulti over the top, and Knight's already dead. Beishuan follows. BLG are buried in their hubris as they try and fail again to kill Faker.
If you're going to come at the GOAT, you best not miss. Topside think they get this collapse, but Doran arrives, and look at this ulti. T1 into an awkward situation, but T1 maintain their composure. On the flank.
On's looking for it, but he immediately gets counter-engaged. On has to try to get away, flashing out after using the crash down defensively as well, but a nice engage from Knight. Beishuan's ready to follow it up, and Faker's in danger. Again, though, he survives. Gumayushi with the kill into Beishuan, as Elk just barely survives the ace in the hole. Owner continues the chase, as On's about to die here too. Elk and Ben completely on the run. BLG utterly routed in their attempt at a fight. Ben will be able to teleport to safety alongside Elk. Yes, they won't die, but Vedius, there's 2 dead BLG players, there's 2 in retreat, and now the Baron's on the menu for T1.
Every attempt that is made by BLG is shut down. The idea is so good. Faker isolated in the mid lane. You think that you have the one-shot potential, but it's not quite enough.
BLG, the Ocean Dragon is the target. On wants to find some sort of an angle, but all he gets is a face full of bullets. Dorman is joined up with the rest of the team, and once again, they're gonna go in. This time they find the shutdown on Faker, but it costs Beishuan's life. T1 trying to regroup. They're gonna claim the Ocean Soul, but what about the rest of the fight? Doran's down to a corner. Owner jumps in on top of everybody, and Gumayushi's ready to free fire. Knight and On both drop, and there's only 2 still standing for BLG. Elk on the run. Keria ready to chase. Winner's bite, not quite enough range. And T1 finally, Faker drops, but the cost is far too great. Keria will get picked off by Elk on the back end of the fight, but T1 is pushing 2 lanes.
BLG execute upon their game plan. The wombo combo looks so good, but at this point, it feels like the T1 is just too far ahead with the soul secured as well in the extended fight.
T1 now with the soul, with the 4,500 gold lead, with the push here in the top lane. Doran with the call of the Forge God, and it's On, called straight back into the grave yet again. Gumayushi unstoppable. T1 stepping forward behind the Braum, but they've stepped too far. They end up losing 1, but they are not done. A double for Guma, make it a triple. Caitlyn's on the hunt, she's locked and loaded. T1 on the victory march. Inhibitor down in the top lane as it's a 4-man push. Only Keria died. Knight steps in. He goes for the engage, but he doesn't find anything. T1, they were behind clutch it out. They'll take the Nexus turret. Faker steps in. Elk stays alive. The Nexus will not. And T1 go up 2-0.
Now on game 3, he's going to be looking to try and attack these side lanes a little bit more, looking to push in through mid, move towards his side laners, set them up for success, or maybe even provide some split pushing options for his team later into the game. BLG going to path back this way. Faker, he's going to spot them out.
Faker walks right into the brush. Knight with the level 1 charm finds that on Faker as Keria goes for the headbutt to knock Elk away. But now On continuing to put the pressure on. Faker's under pressure from the Ignite. He's healing up, but the first blood goes over to BLG's mid laner.
Knight has to commit his flash, realizing that On's Ignite is the one that's likely to finish that one off, or swap in the sense of getting out of this 2 versus 2. On now in a lot of danger.
Uh-oh. Keria's gonna stand in the way of it. Immediately flash, pulverize, headbutt to knock the big man back. Now with Owner showing up, there's no way out for On, and Gumayushi puts an arrow straight through him.
A clean play from Keria.
One continuing the chase, but there's no ulti, no cease and desist for the Vi as Knight has the Spirit Rush. Faker's gonna be caught out. Nice play from BLG, and Faker's taken down.
Faker comes from mid to assist with T1's escape.
Gonna go ahead and get ready to go. Now Faker looks like he's taking a recall now, but he has his teleport ready to join up here in the fight. First grub already over to T1, and it looks like BLG's gonna call it off.
BLG
they don't want this.
They would have loved to have fought it, but their AD carry is in no position to fight. Gumayushi being level 6, has that ulti available. That alone could be a difference maker. Towards bot and start playing towards the dragon if they want. Knight takes a chunk of damage from Faker, zoning him from the wave. But here we go.
Baseline goes in. There's your cease and desist. Knight needs a little more damage. Faker's Realm Warp gets him away to Owner, and Faker survives. Now in the bottom lane, Doran with the dominance.
The kill down onto Faker. The dragon now going to be secured by T1 as well. The objectives are going the way of T1. And it feels like that slowly but surely BLG is losing more and more control over this game 3.
Still very, very close in terms of the gold.
Never wears a skin.
It's a feeling that most players will never experience, but that's where we're at here. Is On just tries to get a quick snappy trade there onto Keria, but it doesn't amount into a whole lot. Headbutt Pulv trying to turn things around, but now Doran and Keria in a little bit of trouble. Cease and desist there onto the Gator. Knocked right back with the explosive cast. Doran tries to find the Ruthless Predator, but there's nothing there. Feat of Warfare claimed. Both of these guys are seemingly way too happy to commit their ultis to these fights, but this one ends up being good. They've got the opportunity to take the tier 1 turret. That's going to be the feat of turret. Second Drake of the game is live. They already got the first one. If they get this, they'll be on a nice road to stacking towards the soul. They also got the 3 Void Grubs. It's every neutral in the game going the way of T1.
Certainly is. Knight stuck on the top side of the map, which means that they are not in a position to contest this objective. A Herald will still do BLG nicely. They can drop it into the mid lane to help them secure that tower. From the mid lane to the bot lane, they caught that wave in bot, and then they secured the objective as well. Oh, top side.
Once again, they're looking to put the work in on Faker and BLG. Knight is eating so good in this one, 3-0-1. So that means BLG have the opportunity to extend the gold lead even further. Now Knight could have a bit of a problem. He's already used the Spirit Rush, and now he's got to try to escape from Doran and Owner, but his flash was already spent, and Owner's ready to chase. That's a kill going over to T1 as Keria and Gumayushi are up against the remainder of BLG. Bin trying to distract Doran and Owner as now Keria is ready to jump right back into the fight. It's Faker trying to join up with the TP. He's arrived, and the cast flies out to buy some time, but it won't buy enough. Elk with a nice root there on the Blade Caller, but he gets pulled back. A double impale from Owner, and BLG are shattered.
Just like that. We've been seeing it throughout the series, and they're looking for more.
Okay, Keria might be the target here for the BLG engage. Finds a nice 3-man pulverize. Drops the Unbreakable Will, but they'll break him anyway. They just want to give the money over to Elk, bring him back into the game. Gumayushi not back. Beautiful play from On. Shut down for Knight. Owner with another double impale. Has been has to flash away from the turret. BLG don't lose a man, and they find 2 critical picks.
These are the type of plays we need to be seeing from BLG. Pick after pick. getting more control on the map, converting these picks into objectives as well. The mid tower has been secured.
T1 do not want to allow it to just sit in the pit, and Beishwan is ready to try to challenge here in the Smite fight. Bin looking for the angle on the side, but Doran's ready to block him. Wards trying to keep an eye here on the Dragon as On tries to throw a barrel out. T1 still with control over the objective, but Beishwan is in range. We could get a Smite fight. It's going to be secured by Carrier, and now the engage coming out from BLG. Doran's over the wall. He slices. He's ready to dice. T1 staying alive for now, but Doran's going to be killed here at the very start. Bin, the only one caught inside the impale, and BLG's winning the fight. Carrier's going to die next. He tries to get away. He flashes into the realm morph to survive, and now Faker, the next target. BLG are finally going to get him. Bin going for another, and Carrier barely hobbles away. BLG may have lost the Drake, but they absolutely smash the fight.
Turn their attention onto Doran. Knight comes back to the back line. They charm him up, they take him down, and there's more action back to live.
BLG looking to force down the Otacon, trying to fight their way back into the game. They secure the objective, but the fight afterwards is ready to rage. Faker with a Ruined Prison onto Bin, but Doran might drop. They peel off Bin and save the Croc. Owner looking for an approach here off to the side. 29-6, plus 23 flowers is about a 2,000 gold lead in that stat for BLG. Carry is looking to go in and make the dive, and On's going to be caught by the Ishtal impact. Faker flashing back, making sure he doesn't die. Elk and Knight trying to continue providing covering fire and keeping themselves alive.
Will give him so much damage, and we said at the beginning of this game that he needed to step up. Beishwan very low.
Yeah, Beishwan caught up by the Ruined Prison there, wants to vault break his way away, but the Realm Warp's ready to catch him out. Knight immediately there to back up his jungler, and Beishwan at 8 HP.
Getting a bit more of a gold injection for his team.
And he will smash that tower before Doran can show up, try to stop him. They're gonna make BLG walk into them. The Baron's already down to half HP, but BLG has arrived. What is the call from T1? They're gonna disengage it looks like, but they're still staying aggroed onto the Baron. It's down to 4K, 3K on a Knight trying to step up. The Baron is claimed by T1, bends into the back line, but now he's in danger. Owner looking to control the rest of the fight. T1's already found the first kill. Beishwan's here on the front line, but a massive knockup from Carrier. On is down. T1 murdering BLG. Elk the next to fall. Knight is the only one left, but the kingdom is burning.
BLG try their best to respond to the Baron. They cannot find the angle, and the crowd simply erupts as T1, for the third time in a row, will find the monstrous fight, will find the Baron, and are looking to close this series out.
A brilliant gambit from T1. They know that BLG owns the bottom side river. They know it's dangerous to check, so they just don't. They make BLG answer them instead. They win the fight, they earn the Baron, they secure the soul.
What's crazy about this is T1's Baron wasn't even that fast.
There's no two-pronged threat, and T1 now with the Baron pushing up. That last sequence also earned Owner his 1,000th assist at international tournaments for his career, as T1 now gonna get collapsed on, potentially. Bin with the TP wants the angle, but Owner's already found the pull. Beishwan's down, and T1's bringing in the backup. A nice blade caller from Elk, but is it enough? Doran pops the Dominus, and Elk's feathers fly. Carrier and Gumayushi putting more damage into Knight, as Carrier might just die. The point-blank piercing arrow finds a little, but Gumayushi has to flash away. Elk with another kill! Beautifully done alongside Knight. Faker dominating with the kill on Bin. It's a 2-for-2 trade. It worked the first time. How about the second? On, barely at any HP. Beishwan and Knight looking to try to approach. Piercing arrow flies out. T1 still thinking about the turn. Doran's coming around from behind. The Dominus flash with the Predator. Now somebody's gonna be locked up. Carrier's got the follow. It's over. It's done. T1 slam the final fight. Doran clutch again with the angle at the perfect moment.
Phenomenal, simply phenomenal from T1. Fantastic coordination. Doran leveraging the fog of war. Bin, he's trying to get a kill back, but his nexus is exposed, and T1's looking to end the game and the series.
The TP coming in as Carrier's ready to join back up with the rest of the team. BLG wanted to conquer their demons, but T1 are their nightmare. 3-0. The LCK squad works their magic again.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.